used to.
Yeah. Done this in a while.
What is up, Colton? What is up, everybody? Welcome to Beerfield Live. I am your host. What are you looking at?
We're here.
You're with me. Oh,
we're
right.
Yeah,
We're in the same. We're in the same
room.
He's
right
looking
now.
around, and I didn't know if he was trying to figure out OBS, if like something was screwed up there.
No.
He's next to the monitor where all that stuff is. That he's kind of like, "What's this doing?" So. Yeah, I am your host, Beerfield Hop. He is Beerfield Theory. It is week 5. We are, as always, here to answer all of your fantasy questions. Colton, let us know why you're tilting there, bud. We'll see if we can take you off tilt a little bit. I'm tilting because of a DJ Chark injury, which cost me a parlay and a goose egg in a league I really didn't want a goose egg in.
I goose egged in Scott Fishbowl.
Yeah,
that was rough.
Thanks. Yeah, It hurts more for me because I was like really close to starting Allen Robinson over DJ Chark, and I was talking to Dan about it that morning, and then he convinced me to DJ Chark it, which didn't take a lot of convincing, honestly. Okay. Colton can only start 2. He's got Barkley versus New Orleans, D-Hop versus the Rams, or CeeDee Lamb versus Carolina. So
I want Barkley Lamb.
I want Barkley and Lamb.
It's hard to sit Diop in such a juicy matchup, but
he's going to get Ramsey. It's going to be a floor matchup. Carolina's without J.C. Horn, I'm pretty sure.
They are. That's why I traded for C.J. Henderson.
Right. So, and Henderson is not J.C. Horn.
J.C. Horn would have probably went on
and
Cooper.
he probably would have been on Cooper anyway.
Yeah,
it's Lamb.
It's Lamb.
It's Lamb and Barkley.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good problem to have. I mean,
great problem to have.
It's going to suck when Hop goes off because I'm not playing Hop I'm playing him in some lineups, but not a lot.
Huh? Oh, right. D-Hop.
Yeah, D-Hop.
Sorry. 1P.
Yeah. Hop with 1P.
1P.
And 1D.
Got it. Got it. Seeing Ramsey not following around the past 3, that's why I'm skeptical either way. Yeah, he's not following around, but he should still draw him enough. And
there's no way that Ramsey isn't on Hopkins for at least 75% of the snaps.
Right. It's a Christian Kirk game, if you're asking me.
If they're putting Ramsey on A.J. Green, then they deserve to lose that game.
What is up, Alex? I've already been talking shit to Alex this morning.
Oh, yeah. You guys playing each other?
No, we played each other last week and in the Bourbon Bowl, and there was a comment about somebody having like no insight or anything like that on last week, or no fun insights, and I said my fun insight is I wish I could play Alex every week because I beat him by 30.
Oh yeah, ooh, beat the pants off of him.
Well, we're both kind of bad.
That's right. That's right. You guys are both 0-2. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry. I was also 0-2.
Another winnable matchup though. Okay, let's go.
Got him.
Got him. All right, let's go into some of these inactives. I'm sure questions will keep coming in. Russell Gage is inactive for the Falcons. Okay. I mean, you were already starting Ridley and Pitts and not much else. And Pitts is just because the tight end landscape sucks, and it's against the Jets. So there is that too. No surprise inactives for the Texans. Danny Amendola is still in the league. That's the biggest surprise to me. Jameson Crowder is going to play this week. So Jameson Crowder is back for the Jets. We talked about him on Wednesday. I think we recorded Wednesday. Yeah, we talked about him on Wednesday. Is hopefully opening up some quick throws for Zach Wilson. If you want to wait, I understand. But, okay, Scott Fishbowl, Schultz or Disley? Schultz.
Yeah.
Yeah, chase the points on that one.
Yeah.
So if you want to wait on Crowder, totally understand. Jets offense has been dog shit. If you need a yellow start, not the worst. There should be some floor there. I think that Crowder's going to, I don't want to say he's going to eat, but I don't think he's going to disappoint either.
It's hard to say because we really don't know what Crowder is within this offense. So I mean, it should be better.
No.
He was their starter coming into the year. Obviously with COVID and then getting hurt, it hasn't really been the start that he wants. But if he goes off, we'll be happy. At this point, it's like I said, I'm avoiding Jets players.
I know you are,
Okay.
and for me, what I'm betting on is I'm betting on where the Jets' problem has been, and that's been that Wilson has not had a lot of time to throw, not a lot of time for people to work open, and that's where Jameson Crowder can
Right.
really help you out.
Exactly.
So you're betting on what the weakness has been, and Crowder being a little bit of medicine for
It
that.
also helps that they're playing the worst defense.
He's like the Advil for your hangover.
he's like the 3-year-old Advil for your hangover. You're not really quite sure if it's going to work, but you know that the benefits.
We're gonna call him Jameson Pedialyte Crowder. Expectations for Monty with Field starting. My expectations for the Bears are generally low.
There are none.
No,
There are no expectations.
There are expectations. It's against the Lions. Monty's going to be fine. That does hurt his touchdown upside a little bit. We see that a lot with bigger rushing type quarterbacks. But at the same time, if the Bears decide to do anything to adjust their game plan and help Justin Fields, there should be a little uptick in the receiving game. I think the option games should open things up for him a little bit. So touchdown upside may not necessarily be there. We'll have to see. It's not like they were near the goal line last week at all. So
I mean, if this is a matchup that they can exploit, this would be a great game to let the running game and the defense should be better too this week. I mean, it's not. I mean, the Bengals have a far better offense with the Lions put out there, so it's a hope.
It is a hope. So I'd expect a bit more efficiency out of Montgomery. Right? I'm pretending the Bears are competent for a minute. A bit more efficiency, but he may lose some goal line carries there. Gesicki or Gronkowski in tight end PPR scoring. So Tyler Conklin, I'm assuming. I am probably Gesicki.
I would chase the targets from Gesicki.
Yeah.
With Brissett there, he got 12 targets last week. Granted, they're not going to have, a lot of that that comeback garbage time that resulted into a comeback, resulted into OT, which took the entire OT from the get there. I like Conklin. I do like the Browns matchup, not just for him specifically, but if you're chasing touchdowns, that's a good game to chase touchdowns in.
Good secondary for Cleveland too, especially with the safeties there and everything. So they don't really have a solid cover linebacker. Malcolm Wilson did find himself some picks, but solid secondary there for Cleveland. So I'm Gesicki. Plus, we already got our random tight end blow up this week. It was C.J. Uzomah.
Twice.
Right.
He's back from the dead.
And he was dead. Dalvin Cook is going to play this week. He's active against the Browns. So he expects to be himself, which is good. It would be weird if he was expecting to be somebody else. Missed one game with the ankle injury.
I woke up feeling like Alexander Madison today.
Yeah, he woke up feeling dangerous.
Woke up feeling dangerous.
He woke up feeling like Madison. He woke up feeling like Amir Abdullah today. He's going to run 90 miles an hour straight into a block. Sterling Shepard is, hamstring inactive. He made the trip to New Orleans, though, as did Darius Slayton. Both players could be ready to return in Week 5. Okay, so the news here is that Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton are going to watch the game. Great. You're not chasing
for the
anything.
News, guys.
Should be some Evan Ingram
I don't
targets
know, man. If I had some points per watch my team play league, that'd be perfect this week.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Points per sitting on the bench in street clothes. No surprises for the Colts. Sorry. They are going to be without the guard. Help me out here.
Quentin Nelson?
Quentin Nelson. That's the name.
Is he still out?
He's out. 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's right. He's on IR. That's right.
Yep, he's on IR, which is why he's not listed as inactive. They do get the Dolphins. It's a kind of a game script neutral matchup, so just some caution with Jonathan Taylor there.
Hopefully he gets his touches this week.
He should. He better. Jordan Poyer out for the Bills, so that is a little bit of an upgrade for Houston, which really they could use all the help they can get. It's Houston, so you're not doing much.
It's Brandon Cooks all day.
Yeah.
Brandon Cooks.
And Poyer just is going to help them Poirier's more in the box, Hyde's more the ball hawk, so could help me.
I mean,
a
maybe
little bit.
Houston can keep it competitive for the first 7 minutes of the game.
Yep. That's all you're hoping
That's
for.
all we're hoping for. Score a touchdown, please.
Julio Jones and A.J. Brown are both out this week. So, Nicky Westbrook,
I got him going in some DFS. You know what I have going in DFS?
Who?
I have some Corey Davis going in DFS.
Good.
He's cheap.
I'm going to throw some
like it, but
DFS
it's
lineups
there.
together when we're done here, or whenever we slow down here after we get through things. But, yeah, Julio Jones, A.J. Brown are out, so it is a big upgrade for Westbrook, and expect a lot of Derrick Henry. I mean, a healthy amount of Derrick Henry. It is.
You might even see some of the backups. You might even see a healthy amount of Jeremy McNichols.
You could see a healthy
He's
amount
still
of
a
Jeremy
thing.
McNichols
He's still
in the
alive.
passing game. Yes.
I'm so happy. I'm like, yeah, that's my boy.
Yep, you absolutely could see that. Sorry, I'm losing myself here.
So Colton's asking, he's got what he thinks is a super team with great depth, but he's 0-3. At what point should it start looking towards next year? It's not really. So you can make a comeback at 0-3. It's all about looking at what your other league mates look like as well. We have the same issue in our home league where there's a lot of competitive looking rosters, but people that have gotten off to slow starts are going to start retooling their rosters for next year. That's one option you can go with if you feel like your team can still be competitive. Use some of those draft picks and then start to make that all-in attempt.
Yeah.
It's 0-3 is tough, but depending on how your playoff structure is, how many wild cards are there and stuff like that, how many teams get in.
Yep.
You don't need to panic right now, but if you want to start kind of getting an idea of where you should be at, look at the other teams in your league and see where they're at and see where you can start.
Also, look at your points for, right? Look at
that too.
Look at your points for, see where you stand in the league on that front, because that's going to tell you a lot about if that should help course correct. And also, kind of case by case player, take a case by case, take a deep look at your roster, and if you have some guys that are underperforming, why are they underperforming? Is it something that's likely to get better? Is it something that isn't? And should you maybe look to fortify a bit? Because Dan's absolutely right. At 0-3, you are not out, right? It's just a matter of you kind of got to look at the why and see if there's something you can do to retool, if it's something that's going to self-correct, or if you're in the bottom half and in points for, you're not waiting on somebody to get back for injury, you just have guys that are consistently underperforming, then you might start reevaluating that a lot. But it's kind of a loaded question. So.
Yeah, I mean it's if you got some players that you would like to move away from because they're getting older with it, you're expecting that the value to drop off. They're getting older. A guy like Allen Robinson could be a perfect fit. Robert Woods could also be at the same point. I mean, they're a bit older than age and haven't blown up yet, but there comes a point where it's not a bad idea to start looking at how you can fix the roster. But I wouldn't panic at 0-3 if you feel like your team is a super team with stud depth. So.
Yeah, and that may be something we deep dive into a bit too here or on the show this week. Actually, that's a pretty interesting conversation to have at this point in the season.
Half-point PPR pick 1. Amari Cooper, Monty, Sutton, Sherman. Starting Amari Cooper currently. You got pick 1. Oh boy. Sutton. It's tough though.
Sutton against the Ravens is what I lean towards a little bit. Cooper's kind of disappointed since week 1. Does get the Panthers again. They are a little bit beat up. You could bet on the course correction there. I'm not on Sherman because Kyle Juszczyk could very well out-touch him again.
Yeah, you're not playing Sherman.
And the game script could go to where they're just fully away from Trey Sermon. I have to play Sherman in a league, but
so do I.
You don't want to do that. And David Montgomery, we talked about it earlier, right? There should be some more efficiency, but I don't think the upside is quite where Sutton or Cooper is. So it's really between Sutton and Cooper.
You can you can kind of coin flip because both games can kind of have the same type of feel, right? You have all 4 teams are good defenses. All 4 games or both games could be low scoring, but both games have 4 offenses that can also potentially push pace.
Right.
The Panthers are my biggest concern without McCaffrey and with how well Dallas has been playing.
Yep, because that game script could go totally lopsided to where they're just running Zeke and Pollard. So, yep, I'm with Sutton on that
I'll
one.
take Sutton.
Sutton.
I'll lean Sutton. I don't think it's
not clear, but
it's pretty close. So.
Mm-hmm. The Andy Dalton's out. We already talked about Justin Fields being the starter there. Running through some more inactives. No surprises for the Saints. McCaffrey could return next week, more likely in 2 weeks. Okay, we'll still keep an eye on that. Christian Darrisaw will make his debut for the Vikings.
He's not starting, but he's playing. It's a big
upgrade.
Nice.
Richard Sherman is starting for the Bucs against the Patriots. So,
yeah, their secondary was that depleted.
Secondary is pretty depleted. Yeah,
Oof.
We'll see how it goes. We don't know we know Sherman is still very capable. It's just what kind of shape is he in, and how ingrained is he? How many snaps is he going to get? Are they going to pick their spots? We'll have to see. See, Tua, broken ribs, should return week 6. Okay, great. Antonio Gibson is expected to play. So there was a lot of expected to plays this morning. So super team includes Herbert, Barkley, Edwards-Helaire, Montgomery, James Robinson, Tyson, D-Hop, Lamb, Allen, DJ Moore, Sutton, Galladay, Higgins, Judy, Chenault, Kittle.
I mean, you definitely have some pieces you can move off from.
If
Dobbins, Akers, it's IR.
Yeah. No, you're right. That is a super team, and I think that one thing that's going to help you is Barkley getting the increased snap count and getting back to himself. Edwards-Helaire getting off the snide a little bit. You should have a good week from Robinson. Hopkins should stabilize. The problem with that is that there's so much. What lineup do I construct on any given week that I see there?
Oh, he's got a lot of injuries. I mean, this team.
He's got 3 to his running back core.
Everybody else has Judy hurt.
Yeah.
Higgins is not hurt. Galladay's been banged up.
I know
Hop's been dealing with his own injuries. He's been playing, but he's doing this is a great team, but this is the injury bug that has obviously plagued. That's why he's 0-3. I mean,
yeah.
Robinson finally had a productive week. He had one last week, but
Higgins, Galladay. The good news is that most of these guys are not.
I mean, you got movable pieces,
long-term injuries.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to blow this.
No. There's no need to blow it up, but you definitely have movable pieces. Like I would probably look at upgrading a running back. I would not feel comfortable with the team that if you're trying to mount a comeback in this league, rolling out with Clyde, Monty. Robinson's fine as a 2, Monty as a 3, but you don't have a 1 here. You have enough receivers to probably.
You got Barkley there, who I think is
there is Barkley.
Going to stabilize. Don't forget he's got Saquon, so you're really looking at your RB2, and I think you can find an RB2 and probably a flex out of Edwards-Helaire, Monty, and J-Rob each week, and if not, then you still have, DJ Moore, Hopkins, Lamb, Sutton. I mean, you've got Higgins, who should be back hopefully next week. I think that it's very.
You can also look at this. You can also look at this in another 3 weeks. By week 6, you're going to have a lot of teams kind of trying to figure out who they are. If you're not in the playoff hunt, you have guys like Hopkins, you have guys like Keenan Allen, guys like Galladay if he comes back and shows something. Guys like Robinson, even though you have there's players that you can move off from that's not going to hurt your team next year.
Yeah. Darrell Henderson is going to play week 4. George Kittle is going to play. Jonathan Taylor is going to play. Dalvin Cook, we already talked about him playing. Elijah Mitchell is out. That's why there's Trey Sermon questions. Melvin Gordon is going to play. Lamar Jackson is going to play. So
everyone's going to play.
A lot of people that are in. Tyler Lockett's playing.
All right.
Unless you're Andy Dalton. So a lot of people playing. Valdez-Scantling to IR. After we gave him all sorts of love this week.
Yeah, when it finally happened.
Yep, so that's good news for Lazard.
You might see a little bit of Amari Rogers coming out, too.
Okay, that's fine. I thought that's not the name I thought you were about to say.
Oh, there's only one name that's worth saying at that point. Amari Rogers maybe get some more playing time. Helps him being on special teams, too.
It does help with him being on special teams. The problem for Amari Rogers is with him being a smaller type player and not quite the athlete that you get out of either more, I don't know that the Lazard injury is what you want there. I think the Lazard injury, you would need a Cobb injury, I think, to get Rodgers on the field.
Depends who they put on the outside because
Cobb ain't going outside.
No.
Cobb's going to play the slot.
Lazard may be able to. I mean, Lazard may, and I would assume
Lazard plays
would take
outside
that.
because he's
He'd
giant.
take the big role. But if
Yeah.
you're looking for a massive field stretcher, you might be playing Rodgers. Half of his receivers never make a starting roster. It must be short starts. For the package, I mean, if you want to, that's the thing. Like, if you're going for an all-in attempt, you need running back stability. That's where you're going to get the majority of that consistency. So if you're looking for one, if you want to pay up for a guy like DeAndre Swift, you do have the firepower. You have enough pieces to make a lot of things happen. I wouldn't move up for guys like, Cook or anything, because you're getting a 1-year rental. It's going to cost you a lot of money, or not a lot of money, but a lot of roster value. But Swift is one. Najee Harris might still cost you some, but he's getting that target volume. I mean, those are some of the RB1s or dynasty that I would look at that's going to help you compete now and next year. You don't want to blow up the team. As Hopper said, you don't want to blow up the team.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be careful with what you move, but you have enough movable pieces to where if you want to compete, those would be the guys I'm looking at.
The other
Swift.
problem right there is if you look at the league, then, I mean, I guess you could go target maybe a Joe Mixon too, but he's kind of a similar situation to what Cook is. He hasn't been extended yet, right?
He got his contract last year.
Did he?
Yeah, they're
So
both extended, but these running back deals are generally 2 years into their contract, and it becomes expensive. Like Mixon's got a 2-year out, I believe, after his. He's had a 4-year extension, but I think after this season, it's going to look a lot better from the Bengals standpoint. From what I remember, I may be wrong, but
I'm gonna go look.
Cook just got his. Aaron Jones got one. Jones might be one, but with Rodgers and Adams likely leaving next year.
So they have an out this year. The Bengals do for $8.25 million and a dead cap. I don't think they take that. They would save $11 million.
They probably won't cut him until the year before, like the 2023. You probably have one.
You probably
season
got a
with
little
him.
bit of a little bit 2022, 2023.
Yeah. So I mean, guys like that. If you want to have a cheaper guy that may be able to compete for the RB2 spot, guys like Chris Carson. He's not going to cost you much of anything. But if you're looking for that big move, that big upgrade, Swift is probably my number one target. Antonio Gibson's another one too.
So you're gonna have another year of Dalvin Cook. It's not a 1-year rental, and then
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, and then it's $6 million in dead cap to cut him. Goes down to $3 million in 2024. His age 29 season. So I'd imagine you probably have 2 more years of Cook as well.
Yeah.
Man, running back shelf life is short. Dalvin Cook, we barely knew ye.
And he's never played a full season.
Right.
Yeah, I would look Swift and Gibson and Harris would be my top 3 to look at because you have this year and next year, and all 3 have been productive this year. Cook will probably cost you more than all 3 of them. So reach on for guys like that hurts in that aspect.
You got to get 2 years of
then
Swift as well.
Potential contract extension.
Yeah, and then a
there,
potential
too.
contract extension as well. So, I mean, that's the thing, right? For running back, you got 2 years of Swift, most certainly. You likely have 2 years of Cook or Mixon, so it's just going to be where's the price at? Who do you value more type thing.
Exactly.
The difference with Swift, though, is he's got another contract in him before he starts looking like he's taken out to pasture.
And if you're going to go for Swift, you got to do it swiftly. Yes.
I hate everything.
Especially how he started. He's been very dominant. He's got a very high floor right now.
I hate everything.
I know you do.
Gronkowski's not going to play against New England.
Yeah. Ruled out.
So
I think last night you ruled out.
He was ruled out last night. Rashad Bateman is not making his return this week.
I was shocked. I would have been shocked if he did.
Yeah.
I've always aimed for middle of October for his.
Bucks will be without JPP. N'Keal Harry was activated from IR.
Bust.
He'll play.
John Ross is going to play.
Oh, God.
There's no healthy receivers in New York.
Yeah.
Dude, dad puns are the best, Alex. I agree.
Hey, Dan.
Yeah.
What's brown and sticky?
Shit.
A stick.
Yes. There's some more. I saw some more. I'm trying to remember them. Le'Veon Bell going to make his
Le'Veon Bell to the active roster. Great. So your full gamut of if it was 5 years ago, this would be the best backfield ever in Baltimore is about to go off. Oh, man. Rashad Penny to IR. Josh Jacobs, questionable. He was practicing, but look, that's not something you want to bet on this week with him gone later in the game. I get because Drake and Barber are not out there.
Imagine if the Raiders made like better decisions with their draft picks, how good this team could actually be.
What do you call a boomerang that doesn't come back?
Boomer?
A mistake?
Dad? Boomer. Oh, you can't leave us in suspense.
Well, there's a delay going on.
I know there's a delay.
Okay,
anyways,
don't worry. Alex ain't going to leave us hanging. I know Alex ain't going to leave us hanging.
He might, but he won't.
Buddy Howell activated from the practice squad. I know that name.
We do.
Oh, this is actually kind of big. Kenneth Murray for the Chargers carted off the field. Looked like an ankle roll, actually. Officially questionable from Monday night. That is their middle linebacker. Stick.
So dumb.
Good Lord.
Good Lord.
And that's the show.
No,
that actually we are
we're getting there.
Close to that moment. Chase Claypool downgraded out against the Packers. Gronkowski, we already talked about that. Claypool being out against the Packers actually might be worth mentioning because it makes Juju and Deontay that much more startable. James Washington should fill his role.
If only Big Ben can fucking throw the ball
Big Ben's got a
further than 10 yards.
Big Ben's got a peck injury, so they're only going 10 yards.
Christ.
You need 10 for...
And someone yelled at me, Najee Harris is not going to see 19 targets again. He may actually see 20 targets in this game.
He might.
A lot of comeback. It's going to be a comeback game for them because they're going to be losing to Green Bay.
The Jets are confident in Zach Wilson. So am I. Zach Wilson really has not been the biggest problem that they have right now. Actually, there's another video. That 12-year-old Redditor, by the way, is fantastic.
That shit is hilarious.
I've
seen those. Those are good.
Yeah, there was another video where they showed the Jets have 3 receivers running the same slant route all in the middle of the field.
That's due to coaching. That's on coaching. That's on the players.
And there's 3 free rushers in Zach Wilson's face. Again, that's on the offensive line.
Sorry.
That's coaching. That's on the receivers. Like, Zach Wilson is in an impossible situation right now.
He's also not playing very well. I don't care what this headline says. You're not going to come out and say, we're losing confidence in Zach. Of course you're going to come out and say we remain confident in him. He's played. You have looked like the worst looking team over the last 3 years combined. That's how bad they've looked.
It is.
It's an embarrassment for the product because
and it's a rookie quarterback. You can't rely on a rookie quarterback to save you in that situation. That's the problem with
especially one that's still raw in talent and still trying to learn.
Right. Wilson hasn't played great, but you can't rely on a rookie quarterback to save the fact that your protections are currently dog shit and your play calling is currently dog shit.
It's almost like they should have never compared him to Patrick Mahomes. It's almost like we should. It's almost like we need to stop comparing these quarterbacks to their
Who compared him to Patrick Mahomes?
That was all over.
Well, that's fucking stupid.
That was his whole. That was everyone that watched this film. And guys like was it Chris Sims compared him to him? He's got Patrick Mahomes S type of upside.
No, he doesn't. He's got Drew Lock-esque type of upside, and that's to say that when you watched them in college, the ceiling was similar. Not what Drew Lock is now, but I mean, I saw a lot more Drew Lock than I did Patrick Mahomes.
Well, there's a lot of similarities to both Wilson and Lock.
Yeah,
arm talent is there. It's whether or not they can rise above the competition that they're now facing.
Yeah, you got to rise above the competition. You've got to help on the decision making and play the mental side of the game.
Moore isn't playing, so
yeah.
Moore is.
How about Davis and not Mims?
Moore is also not playing. It's going to be Crowder and.
It's going to be Crowder, Davis, and Mims.
Oof.
Which is fine for. That's fine for a wide receiver trio.
It's fine.
It really is.
It's fine. It's not. It's fine. We're fine. It's fine. It's not burden here.
You just got to not have them all running the same slant route.
It's fine. This is what I mean. We were excited. Everyone was excited for the Jets. It was Adam Gase is gone. We overhauled everything. It's fine, Jets fans. It's fine.
Well, and Salah's a defensive guy, and his offense is failing him right now, right? You didn't bring in Salah to be a...
Everything's failing him right now, and it might not be all on him, but I mean the coaches also get far more blame. I blame the people who made the
here's
draft
one
picks.
for you: Crowder or Rager?
I'll chase the Rager upside.
I would also chase Rager upside.
The Chiefs and
Travarius
Cardinals.
Ward's not playing, also, and
Okay.
neither is Frank Clark.
Worry about the Eagles O-line? No, I'm not worried about the Eagles O-line because garbage time will carry all.
I'm not worried
But
about
yes,
the Eagles O-line
they
because
also don't run the football. So it doesn't
Jalen
matter.
Hurts doesn't need an O-line.
No. Runs around with his head cut off, and then eventually he will take off and run. He'll throw the ball to Goddard 12 yards downfield.
Right. Justin Fields shouldn't really need an O-line either, but
They need something. Well, I mean, he doesn't want he doesn't want to be
he doesn't want to
a
run.
pure runner.
But he might have to run.
He's gonna have to at some point.
But you don't want him to get into that habit either. And I can't even knock his processing speed when you have 1.7 seconds to throw the football. I mean, he
between
doesn't.
him and Wilson, it's tough for them out there in the streets, man. They want to make plays. They have the talent. You know it's there. It's
Tough for rookie quarterbacks.
tough out here for a pimp.
Are we done?
I think that's the news.
Yeah, let me do one more check here. I have lineups to set and bets to put in and DFS to put in. Yep. Frank Clark, Travarius Ward inactive. Hey, look at that. Oh, so is Duvernay Tardif. They're actually... Chiefs are going to be without a lineman, too. Nothing surprising for the Panthers.
I'm gonna alt spread bet the Chiefs to win by 21, and that's what I'm gonna do. 20.5, win by 3 touchdowns next play.
I didn't know Will Greer's with the Cowboys.
Maybe I'll do
now.
17.5. Is he?
Yeah. Both Browns linemen, Jedrick Wills and J.C. Treader, active.
Good. That's one of the better centers.
Yep. Preston Williams is inactive. There's a name. I just wanted to say his name. Okay. We're done.
We're done. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. We'll catch you next week. We've got beer to drink and lineups to set.
Eventually food to eat.
Yeah, that too.